Hello and welcome to Box, where we unbox, review and demonstrate the latest tech. Today we have with us this Samsung QLED Q60B in 55 inches. As the entry-level model in the 2022 QLED range of TVs, the Q60B brings you an affordable LCD TV with a 4K resolution that houses the essential latest smart TV features for enjoying your favourite content. Opening up the top of the box, you'll find all you need in the opening, including the accessories bag, the stand legs, and all the safety and information guides for setup. If you're familiar with Samsung TVs, the accessories here are the same across the majority of their TV releases over the past few years. You get the two remotes, one smart and one standard, as well as a power cable and a few clips for cable management. Lying it face down on a covered box, it gives you a good idea on what connections and mounting features are available to you. There's a 200 by 200 base mount in the middle, as well as a power input on the right and all your connections in the side cutout along the left for easy access when wall mounted. Now in total there are two USBs, an Ethernet port, three 2.0 HDMIs with one supporting eARC, a digital optical audio out, and a satellite/cable input. Unfortunately, none of the HDMI ports support 4K at 120Hz, which are the optimal settings for playing the latest titles on your next-gen console. But this is still a 60Hz panel, so you can enjoy 4K at 60Hz too. The last thing to do here is attach the stand legs. Now the stand design is by far one of my favourites for a quick setup. The legs just slot into the channels on the back, locking into place with just one final firm push. They also have these adjustment clips on the side that let you alter the height to raise it slightly off the surface if you have other accessories like a soundbar. There isn't really any cable management here, but you are provided with these little cable clips if you just want to channel them slightly out of sight. Taking a quick look at the design, it does an incredible job fitting in with that minimalistic aesthetic. The all black colouring and textured back give it a little bit of luxury despite it being a low cost model, and it fits in nicely to any style home as it's pretty discreet. The entire silhouette is also surprisingly thin too, with Samsung now opting for the Air Slim design on most of their TVs this year, making it great for those who want a wall mount while also keeping it thin for those narrow TV display units. On top of that, you also get this super thin bezel for practically edge-to-edge viewing, which again surprises me considering that it's a budget end model. Something else that might catch your attention though is the size availability. Now the Q60B comes in a wide range of sizes from as little as 43 inches right up to the impressive 85 inches, expanding the range of even the moderately priced smart TVs, which is something they haven't done previously. With the TV now mounted on the stand, it's time to get into the setup stage. As usual, there's a series of steps where you log into your Samsung account and set up your internet connection, whether that be wired or wireless. It's also a great opportunity to update your TV and get access to some of those big updates released around mid-2022, like the new gaming hub. You can also optionally log into any of your streaming services here, but if you do want to do this later, most of these non-essential steps can be skipped. The new menu system is now simplified into 3 different hubs, separating out your TV and streaming apps, gaming apps and console management, and finally the ambient collection, for soothing screensaver content when not in use. It uses the latest Tizen 6.5 operating system, so navigation is also pretty smooth and direct. I do like having everything organised into these 3 categories, so each activity is contained to one space, reducing the amount of time that I spend scrolling through menus to find the content that I'm after. In terms of TV and movies, you do get the majority of the most popular streaming services to date, including Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Disney Plus, and Netflix, which is great for those who don't use a service box or console for their apps. Now let's get into the specifications on this TV. We have a full 4K 3840 by 2160 resolution dual LED display with a VA panel and Edge LED backlight, alongside the supporting Quantum Processor Lite 4K and Samsung's own HDR10 Plus. Despite it being described as having only the essentials, it does still deliver high quality colour depth and contrast thanks to the Quantum Dot tech. Now the bar for what's considered budget tech has shifted significantly in as little as a year, because I'm amazed that Samsung have squeezed some of their previously groundbreaking tech into what they consider their budget QLED range for such a small cost. Of course, to get to the top of the range cutting edge tech, you still need to splash out on some of the pricier models, but what you won't find is AI upscaling for HD content or a wide viewing angle with anti-reflection tech for watching dark content in a brightly lit room. But overall, having access to some of the more advanced Samsung specific features like adaptive sound, filmmaker mode, and object tracking sound light is much better compared to some of the budget conscious TVs on the market. Getting into the overall picture quality here, you can also enjoy a pretty decent image across a variety of content. As the viewing angle isn't that generous, the best way to view this TV TV is straight on for getting that sharp detail and best colour output. If you're planning on wall mounting or generally viewing the TV from the side, the picture quality won't be as good when looking at it from a sharp angle. But if you start looking at the finer details, it doesn't have local dimming, and the contrast between the light and dark portions of the screen won't be as deep as you'll find on the pricier models, with the dark portions of the picture largely coming out lighter, giving off a slightly faded appearance. But for those who just want a TV that shows off their favourite movies and shows clearly with consistency across the board, this picture does exactly what you need. Now, there are 4 picture modes that adapt to the picture quality best to what you're watching, and you can easily go into the picture settings to enable any of their handy features to further enhance the picture to your satisfaction. In general, as a casual viewer, I thought the colours came out natural. Older movies and shows still look sharp and clear thanks to the 4K resolution, and even darker scenes and shows came out detailed enough in a dark room, with very little disruptions distracting me away from the action on screen. Now, for those with a keen eye, the picture tests offered a little more insight into the type of deformities that you might want to keep an eye out for. I did a few brief tests looking for grayscale and white uniformity, and overall I didn't see anything pressing to worry about. There were some slight signs of blooming in the blacks around the corners, but as you can see in these darker scenes, it's really not noticeable even in a dark room. Brightness overall was pretty satisfying, not really having to alter it in any way across a variety of content. To the sharp-eyed viewer, you might wish for something a little stronger, but overall it was better than I thought and exactly what I'd come to expect from a brand name budget model. It automatically enables a whole host of brightness control as well within the energy saving menu on initial startup, but if you're struggling with the changing brightness levels, you can easily disable these if needed. Sound is something that comes hand in hand with a good picture, and with the Q60B, you can expect pretty high standards compared to most competing models. With the Samsung name, you do get some exclusive features here like object tracking sound light and adaptive sound for a truly intuitive next level 3D surround sound experience. If you do add a Samsung soundbar to the mix as well, you will also enjoy Q Symphony 2, which works in harmony with your TV sound to work as essentially an extension of the TV itself rather than just an additional speaker. But at the base level, the audio system is made up of 20-watt speakers that have Dolby Audio and eARC support. The output is exactly what I needed, something that fills the room while also bringing out some extra details enhanced by the sound modes for picking up dialogue in a quiet scene or based in an action movie without having to constantly alter the volume. Of course, it's always hard to take my word for it, so here's a quick sound sample to give you an idea on the quality on offer here.
Poster, your wonderful drawing.
Is it? How do you know he had blue eyes? It's just a pencil sketch.
Let's quickly touch on gaming. Now, right away, you know it won't support some of the top players needed for next-gen console gaming, like 4K at 120Hz, VRR, and FreeSync, as there's no 2.1 high-speed HDMI support. But if you're a big gamer and high specs are important for future-proofing your TV for the next generation of gaming tech, then I'd probably suggest looking into the higher-end models from Samsung this year. But for the casual gamer, this TV has all the essentials you need, and probably more than your standard TV could offer. For a start, it has an amazing gaming hub that puts all of your game-related content into a neat little bundle for jumping straight into console support and browsing streaming-only gaming apps. Now, if you've not invested in the latest game console but want to try out some of the latest games, then you'd be excited to find out that it does include the Xbox Game Pass app for cloud-only console-free gaming through a strong internet connection. But mostly, the inbuilt game mode does so much more for any gaming session that you want. It has ALLM support, motion control, and even a handy pop-up game bar that helps you keep an eye on all game-related stats and manage simple settings. I thought it played perfectly fine with the game mode enabled, which does activate as soon as you connect to console. It's really noticeable when you turn the game mode off, so I'd highly suggest leaving this on for the best picture. Forza Horizon 5 and Deathloop played wonderfully smooth, and with the console set to 4K at 60Hz, the gameplay does play pretty smooth and detailed, which is great considering that these are high quality games. Overall, this TV is a brilliant option for those looking for a low cost 4K TV that's great for watching TV shows and movies, as well as some light gaming. The picture may not hold up against some of the best quality TVs on the market, but for what it's worth, it sits much higher on the scale of most budget models this year. It works well right out of the box, and the smart menu system is really easy to get to grips with, and it breaks content down into easily manageable hubs. It's super thin and looks effortlessly minimal in practically any space, and it also comes in a wide range of sizes suitable for any budget. On this 55-inch model, the picture was relatively consistent, and I thought in a dark space, the colours and overall contrast were relatively decent. So if you are looking to get on the QLED ladder but want something simple and reliable from a name brand that you can trust while still retaining a few mod cons in the process, then this TV might just be one to watch out for. So what are your thoughts on this Samsung Q60B? Let us know in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Box, where we have plenty of hands-on reviews on the latest tech. And as always, thanks for watching.